If you are sick and tired of your textures looking flat and boring, I have something special for you. Stick around and I'll show you a really nice trick to boost your textures up to the roof, to the next level, to the moon, wherever you want to go. And it's called parallax occlusion mapping. Let's get started. So here we have our boring looking plane, like a normal texture you get from Megascans, you get from wherever you get your textures from. Let me change one thing real quick. Look at this, magic, it's not boring anymore. So what just happened? That's called parallax occlusion mapping, or POM, which is basically the budget version of tessellation. It works in a different way, but that's too specific for this video, so we skip this for the moment. Today I just show you how you can set it up. And if we go into our wireframe real quick, under wireframe, we can see the yellow markings are just our normal plane where the texture is applied on. But let's get into the good stuff and I'll show you how the shader works. So there is not really black magic or something included. I mean, if you want, just edit, search for the black magic node. So it's pretty straightforward. Here on the left we have our normal tiling. That is our displacement map. Here we have our base color, normal, and our mask. So the mask is just for the roughness. This big fat boy in the middle is the parallax occlusion mapping node. And as you can see, that has a ton of inputs and I didn't use all of them. But let me get you the most important ones. So like I said, that's our displacement map. I cover in a second how I get only the displacement map from the Megascans textures. And we have the height ratio, we have min steps, max steps, we have a constant, we have a wave plane, static bool, so basically a switch. And really important, the sky atmosphere, shadow quality, and the shadow penumbra, fancy word. So the important stuff is height ratio, min steps, max steps, the wave plane, and the sky atmospheric light direction, which is set to 0. So the light index on the lower left is basically telling what light is being used for all of this fancy stuff here. Because I'm a little bit stupid and added alpha dynamic sky, I don't have an index in here. If I search for index, I don't have anything. If you go to your skylight, or maybe let's just give it a try. If we add not the skylight, a directional light, and we search for index, we have atmospheric sunlight, la 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 la. So this number is important for you. If you have multiple lights, make sure to enter the number you want to use. In my case, if I would remove ultradynamic sky, it would be the 0. By the way, you don't need to create the shader by hand. If you want, well, go ahead, cool for you. I put it in the description because shaders can do magic stuff. Let me show you. So here I have my shader without the shader node, just everything else. I copy it and I can paste it. Magic. Freaky. And you can use this shader, Ctrl A, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and just paste it. You just learned something really good. So I just put it into the description below the video and you just copy it out and paste it in. You will have only one problem because the textures in the mask are channel packed, which is pretty smart, because that's how you save a lot of resources with textures. And we want the blue channel because that's the height map. So we need to extract the blue channel, and to do that I just load the texture up in Photoshop and then I open it, select the canvas and paste the blue channel in all the other channels, export it as a PNG and re-import it into the project, and that's it. So I can just link it to the texture 2D slot. By the way, that's a texture object, not a texture sample. What's the difference? Glad that you ask. If you want to create a texture object, you just right click it and then convert it to an object. And then you put it in the slot. And how does the shader work? Well, I have my instance here. And obviously the height ratio is telling the texture or Unreal how extreme the effect should be. Min steps, max steps is basically how intense the effect is. I hope you can see it on the video, because if I go higher with the numbers, I can basically tell Unreal how smooth the transition should be. And shadow penumbra, shadow quality is, if we enable it, disable it, getting rid of the light, and tiling, well, that's pretty obvious. I would say that's tiling. Make sure to check out this video where I show you how you can tile textures without even looking at the UVs of your object.